Hello and welcome to another Thinking Particles tutorial video. This tutorial video is for Thinking Particles version 7.3. We are going to check out a little bit the MEL programming language in Thinking Particles that was introduced in 7.3. Let's dive right into it. This is a quick tutorial, so don't worry, it won't get too complicated. So what we are going to do is we create a Thinking Particles here, place the helper anywhere we like, bring up the user interface of Thinking Particles, and then we want to have a clean and orderly setup. So we are just going to have a particle group that we call pool, and we'll create a dynamic set here, and we call that create. So the thing I want to mention here is we have this new entry of MEL, and MEL has several subsections where we have standard Thinking Particles nodes that are enhanced, and I'm going to use the position born. So it's the same position born, so you can place that node any way you like. You can go with the right-hand menu, with a drop-down menu, or by pressing tab and searching for position born. And then you can choose it. So it doesn't matter how you create this node. This is a standard Thinking Particles node. However, this node is special because it has the generator output. And I'll tell you more about it when we now create our MEL node. So I'll create the MEL node. And as always, when you create it the first time, it will display itself when we open the editor. Let me just bring that over. It will present itself with this starting block of already created or suggested calls. However, we are doing a tutorial from scratch, so I'll just delete that and enter the comment here. And we don't want any output, and for now we don't want anything else here. So the only thing we want to create is, as I mentioned, the position born has this generator output. So what we want to have, let me just name that particles. We want to access the particles created by position born. So what I'm going to do is I'll create a port generator input. So I create now an input named particles of type generator, and that's the generator particle type or node type. And I'm going to press compile, and as you can see, it creates the particles name and it's of type generator. Now I can connect those two. And why did I do that? Let me just say, okay, I want to create 5,000 particles in one go and let them live forever, and don't give them any speed for now. So what I'm doing here right now is I'll create 5,000 particles with the pistol shot, and these 5,000 particles are now available. Oh, let me just make sure we put them in the right particle group. So I'll create 5,000 particles in the pool group. So now we have these particles, and our expression MEL is able to access these particles. And now how about if we place the particles in 3D space? Because right now they will be all at position 0 or in the origin. So the first thing I want to do is create some variables. So for sure, I know I will need a particle position vector. So, and I need another flag. Is it born? I want to do something when a particle is created or born. So, oh, sorry. So here we go. We have the position born connector, the generator connected. We have our two variables declared. And now I want to react if something is born. Let me write that correct, is born. So I'll create this. When something is born, a particle is born, do this. So I want to do here my if block. And then we want to place the particles in random. So the next thing is I need to know when are they born. So I need to do a call that gives me the information a particle is born. And we do that by get particle data. And with particle data, we always need to supply a particle ID. And this particle ID comes from our generator. So it will go through in parallel, massive parallel processing of the particles created by our position point. This is highly effective, and this is why we are setting up the scene like that. So we create 5,000 particles, a million particles, doesn't matter, and process all these particles in parallel. So we have this. Now we want to have the information from the particle. Is it born? Data born. And we need to store this information in our variable we created. And that's our variable is born. So now we get here. Let me just do a comment here. It's always a good idea to comment your code. Is a particle born? And the flag will tell us, is it born or not? So now we can go ahead and do our positioning. So let's just say I want the particle position. And we now need to access all our axes separately to give them, let me just pick this math function here. I want a random value between -50 and 50. So I get a random value here, and we can set random x. And now I just have to repeat that. Very easy for the other axis as well. So that's x, now it's y, and z. So now we have all the stuff. Maybe we want to have a little bit of a squished or squashed box, so something like that. Okay. So now what we did, we are already at the end of our first tutorial here, so to say, is we are placing or creating right now the random positions for our particles. Now we need to set the positions. So we are going to set the particle ID. That's our particle that is processed right now at this moment. Data, and we want to set the position. And then we need to supply the position, and that's our vector pos, and there we go. And set the position. Here we go. Let's compile our code here. And yes, there is no set function. I did a little mistake. We need to use the function set pdata. And now we compile again. All is clean. And what we should see right now is when I start the simulation, we get this box here of particles in 3D space. So we created now 5,000 particles with one pistol shot, and then with this pool of particles, when they are born, we are going through and placing them randomly in this volume. So that's about it. That's our first quick tutorial. However, I want to show you one more thing, and I'm just loading a prepared dynamic set. Just load that in. And now I loaded in this dynamic set with another expression MEL group. And there I'll just pick our pool particle. Just choose that. And what this expression, MEL expression, does is it iterates over particles. Let me just find the correct. Yeah, now we see it. Let me just go a little bit bigger. What it does is it spreads out the particles, so it moves the particles around so that they are evenly spaced in the volume. So right now, all the particles we have in here are evenly spaced. And I'm just opening the editor with the code. So what we're doing is we're just looking for the closest particle. And if they are close, we're moving them half the distance and so on. But that's not the point. What I wanted to show you is just you can prepare multiple MEL nodes doing specific stuff to your particle pool, and you can use all the parallel processing power to do here. We have 20 iterations of this node to place our particles in even distance. So it is actually a kind of a particle relax functionality we have here. I can even tell it to kill right away particles that are way too close. If they're 50% way too close, we can kill them, and we still get an even distribution in the volume. So that's it. As I told you, it's a quick tutorial just to explain you how to create your particles and control them in a very efficient, fast way. I hope you liked that video, and check out my other videos as well. Thank you.